In today's video we're going to be installing the GCB Sedan swaybar adapter kit. This is to properly make the Genesis Sedan subframe fit the Genesis Coupe. So when you get the box, before I begin, I already cut the plastic here, but before you can begin, you'll know that your box is done right if you see the quality seal on both flaps should be intact, and then on the top of the box you'll see the GCB Partz, what it is, their contact information, as well as our contact information right there, because we co-developed this. So I did not bring a knife, so I am using a blow-off valve solenoid adapter. Okay, so this is in the kit. Now you guys are learning this the first time I am, because this is my kit. This is my copy of the kit. So what do we have here? Let's see. See how everything Glen included. Tape measure. It is really silly of me to not grab a knife here. That's what we got in here. Now these are the drill guide tools. And they're 3D printed, because a lot of us are moving to 3D printed stuff. So they have embossed on them top, right, and left. Okay, so there's that. And install kit. Now this is one of the things that we originally weren't going to do, and then after Glenn and I talked about it, decided, well, this is what we kind of want to do, so let's just do it. So high-speed drill bit. Those who don't know, Glenn included a little bit of instructions here on how to use a high-speed drill bit. Here's the shoulder bolts. This is one of the things we changed. We included these in the kit because that way there is no race version and track version. There's just one version. You can kind of install it track mode, or you can kind of install it whichever mode you want. And then this one is the left side. And now mine are a little bit different than what you guys are going to get, just because there was a learning curve, because these are the first set that we got made. So we changed a couple of things from this set to your guys' set, but one of the things that we did in order to make these stronger than we really needed, but also to make it so if you needed to take them out, you could take them out and put them back in as many times as you want, is these threads added here, I'll bring them up here, these threads added here are stainless steel. So the body of this is aluminum, but the threads are stainless steel. Okay, that way the bolts that interact with them are going into stainless steel, and they won't be subject to corrosion as quickly. Also, they will be able to handle the loads that we're going to be putting them under better. We won't be relying on the bolts acting on aluminum. The bolts will be acting on stainless, and then the stainless threads are specially installed so they won't wiggle or move or anything like that inside the adapter. So this is the left side. Yeah, it's really hard to see, but they are embossed, but they're not, they don't indicate which is left and which is right. So there you go, there's the kit. And then we'll go out to the coupe and we will install this. I'll show you guys how to put this in. We are now at the point that we're going to install our subframe adapter kit. What I like to do is set the subframe the same orientation as it is in the car, so all my reference points are the same. All I do is I flip it upside down, front to back, not left to right. This exposes, in my seating position at least, sway bar mounting points. This is a coupe, spare coupe sway bar. Well, you can see here, that's basically the problem. The coupe sway bar is too narrow. The other problem is that the coupe sway bar actually sits physically higher than the sedan's does. The sedan's mounting point on the lower control arm and everything else is just different. It's also a completely different style of end link here. So unless you're willing to put that, which is a sedan rear knuckle, in your coupe, there is really no way of using the sedan's sway bar on your coupe. It doesn't work. So what we're going to do is we're going to install this kit. First things we're going to do is we're going to put that to the side, and you're going to need is a 3/16 T-handle, a 14 mil socket with extension, a 12 mil or a 1/2 inch, and a ratchet wrench. You're also going to need one of these clamps, or you can use a standard C-clamp. I prefer these, as well as a high-speed variable drill. Okay. Oh, and I guess some sort of cutting fluid, and because I had it laying around the shop and it works actually pretty damn good, I have cutting fluid slash lubricant. I'm using chain lube that I used on my bike, just because any kind of lubricant is better than no lubricant at all. And I'm all out of regular cutting fluid right now, and I don't go into the city until tomorrow. So there you go. That's what we're dealing with. So first things first, we're going to loosely fit the sway bar. So at this point, you don't need to put your lock washers on, but I'm just going to put them on. Now, these are marked in the bag left and right, but just so you know, that fits, that does not. So it's pretty hard to screw them up. Also, I don't know if you can see this, but R and L are actually stamped into the seat of the mount. So you just match R with R and L with L. Okay? So we're going to loosely fit this. We don't want to go too tight or even really snug. We're just trying to loosely fit these. Alright, now those are loosely fit. We take our sway bar and we sit it on there. Now we snug these up, these inside ones, on the sway bar first. You'll see here it's still loose. Okay? And then we go back and we snug these ones up. Everything is done in a cross pattern. But we're not torquing them, we're just snugging them so they're tight. Okay? Once those are in place, this should move around or this shouldn't be able to move around. Okay. Once that's done, we undo this and we move the sway bar out of the way. The reason for that whole process is to square these up. Okay. Once those are squared, you'll see these little things in your bag. They're going to look a little bit different than mine, but engraved in them is top left and the other one is top right. What you do is you take this piece with the top facing up, and in that channel that's in there, we put it in like this. Fits right in. That's what these little wings are for, is so you center that into that little channel. With that in place, you take your clamp and you clamp this block top to bottom. Now this becomes your drill guide for your high-speed drill bit that's included with the kit. Take your drill, and you'll see here at the end, there's already wear markings. That's where you need to be gripping it. Too long or too deep into the chuck and you won't have enough reach. You just need enough grip on the end to keep it stable. And then run the drill bit through the subframe. Once you get to this point, the drill may try to kick a bit, but it's okay. That's only because it's hitting this ridge right here that's formed in as a brace. Once you've drilled through, take your clamp off, take the other supplied guide, and do the exact same thing to this one over here. With those two drilled out, the next step is actually to remove these braces. You can see here the holes have been drilled. Then you need to get these pieces out of your kit. Included in the kit, there are spare nylocks. So don't worry too much if you break one, there are spares in there. And then you need this little ferrule. Slide the ferrule onto the shoulder bolt with this ring facing away from the head of the bolt. So what we're trying to do is make a sandwich like this. And this sandwiches like this, with this sitting on top of this with the bronze collar right up against the steel. So what I do is ring it down like that and then just gently push it in. You want a little bit of gap between the collar and the bolt head right now, and then make sure this backside is flush against that collar, and that the head of the collar is right up against the subframe. Once everything's kind of sorted together, just gently put the bolts in. That's how you know you're in the correct spot. The shoulder bolt, you need to be able to see the shoulder of the shoulder bolt poking through that hole. Okay? Then we take our nylock, thread it down, take our 1/2 inch, then you take your 3/16 T-handle, fit it into the end of the shoulder bolt, and tighten it up. As you can see, as we're tightening it, more of the shoulder bolt is popping out, and then eventually it will start to grab this. Once you get to that point, don't finish torquing this up. Take your 14 mil and snug these down. They do not, again, need to be torqued, they just need to be snug. This prevents, while we're tightening the shoulder bolt, this prevents this from kicking up. If this is all done correctly, the shoulder bolt will be fully exposed through that hole, and this nylock will be pushed up against the subframe, slightly compressing this dimple right here, locking it into place. It is supposed to have the nylock bottom out on the shoulder bolt. That is not a design flaw. This is part of the way it is. So we're using thicker edge of the shoulder to support this from bending, instead of relying on these bolts and the thickness of this plate. And we're not using the thinner section of the shoulder bolt in order to handle that load. We're using the thicker part. Once that's in place, don't torque these down. Repeat the process on the right hand side. Now, with everything in place, you can take your sway bar and reinstall it. With both sides firmly installed, you can take your torque wrench and retorque them to 36 to 46 foot-pounds of torque. So, I don't know, 42 is a good number. And then, that's it. I want to take a minute to cover these things right here. You might have noticed that the sedan subframe has a couple of extra bolt holes that don't really make sense. The other thing is you're probably going to notice that your brake cables don't line up. Well, that's because of these braces right here. Oh look, a spider. These braces are called lateral links. Okay? Literally, they brace. They brace this wall here to this formed steel here. What their whole purpose is to reduce deflection in this already rigid brace. You probably noticed in the subframe removal video that I kind of had to push them out of the way, but that is what they are for. They bolt there and they add support. We were going to make a replacement set of these because a lot of the sedan subframes don't actually have them, but there's no point when UR makes a set for the sedan already, and that's where we're going to have people go to get those. If your sedan subframe didn't come with these, then grab them from UR. You can get them from Gangnam Parts out of South Korea. I've spoke with Albert, and we're going to do special pricing through them for anybody who buys this kit and needs these braces. That's what these braces are for, and that's basically what we're going to do with them. And anybody who bought this adapter kit, thank you very much for your support. Big special thanks to Glenn for getting me the kit out like ASAP versus everybody else's so we could do this video. We will see you guys in the next video. Questions or comments, don't forget to hit us up on Facebook or message down below on the video description. If you guys like anything you see in our videos, just give us a thumbs up. If you don't like our video, feel free to hit the thumbs down. So we'll see you guys next time.